Howdy, Spurs fans. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I know it's got to be a tough one for us, especially after the Spurs dropped two to the Bulls and to the Hawks. You know, still trying to get over those. My emotions are a little bit dull now just after, both losses and, kind of just drained really from the excitement that we had going into the weekend to kind of the disappointment ending the weekend. And but what a heck of a game, especially it was. Well, both games actually. Heck of a game. The comebacks that we attempted were promising, and at least we didn't get blown out. And there was some entertainment, some excitement for these games, and that was good to see. It was good to see the team fight till the very end on both games. Especially having to make a big run during both of the games to come back. Just for them to have that kind of fighters mentality was extremely good to see. But I know everybody's probably having a tough one right now, and totally understandable, Spurs fans. But we'll move on from this one. There were a few things, good things that we saw in both games, and congratulations to Tre Jones on a career night, man. 30 points. Kudos to you. Awesome job. Well deserved. A lot of us fans believed in you, and we were just really excited and happy for you at the end of the night. Even though we didn't get the W, that was really disappointing. And but again, congratulations. We were in attendance for the Bulls game on a Saturday night, so we're gonna bring to you some in-game sounds from that game. Also, a couple of fan interviews from that game as well. And we'll discuss a little bit today too about the Hawks game and kind of what we think about the Trae Young, Dejounte Murray rumors. So let's get going on GSG Nation. All right, so let's start with Tre Jones, his career night, 30-point night. Let's get going with that first. Being there at the game, seeing him knock down that first 3-pointer was kind of, almost a little surprising because, he hasn't really been on any kind of shooting streak lately. And so to see him hit that first one and kind of just nothing but the net, like that was, kind of the start of something, and for the whole game for him, like, just hitting that one and kind of just thinking like, okay, let's see what happens here. Let's see what he does. And, just going throughout the game, he's hitting threes after threes and just facilitating the offense. It was great to see for him, and great for us Spurs fans, kind of like a reassurance, like, we do have a good point guard on our team right now. And, honestly, in my opinion, I feel that Tre Jones should stay a part of this team, stay a part of the rebuild, because he's 4 years here with the Spurs, so he knows the Spurs culture. And I really think that the Spurs are going to find their next point guard in one of the drafts with a lot of the draft picks that they have, so I really think that our next point guard is out there yet to be drafted. And so I think that we should keep Tre Jones because he's proven that he can facilitate our offense, whether starting or coming off the bench, and proven that he can run offense with Wemby, successful offense with Wemby. So when we draft our next point guard, I feel that he could really mentor that young player, that young future all-star that we're going to draft. I feel like he'll mentor him into being what we need to take us to the next level, to become a championship team, because he's gonna, by the time we get that point guard, he already knows this offense like the back of his hand. And so he's going to be able to mentor that guy, and he already knows our Spurs culture, so he's going to be able to mentor our guy in our culture and just in the back, running the basketball plays out on the floor. And I think that's what we need, because just getting another vet point guard, bringing another vet point guard in may bring in immediate wins, but they don't know the Spurs culture. They don't know our plays. It's going to take them time to figure out, figure out our plays, and it's going to take them time to mesh with our team. But Tre Jones is already there. He's already doing that, and he's showing it to us. So really, I don't see a point in going out to get a vet point guard unless we're trying to get immediate wins, which that's clearly not the team's goal. The team's goal is long term. So we're thinking long term, and there's right now, like, realistically, there's nobody available that I think we should really go after. That's like, young, on the rise. I don't think there's anybody out there that we can go get that's going to be worth, what they're going to be asking for. So keeping Tre Jones and keeping him part of the rebuild, I think, is a great idea. I love it. I hope we do it, and I think that we will. He's a leader, and he's going to continue to prove that. He's going to continue to show that. And again, once we get that young point guard that we're all asking for, that we're all waiting for, hoping we're going to get, some of us dedicated fans knowing we're going to get, I think just keep Tre Jones so we can mentor that player. But that game was absolutely winnable for us. We had so many opportunities just to take that game, and we actually even had opportunities to make a run, but we just couldn't make shots again. It was just the same story, just couldn't finish. Another thing that hurt us was just like we are way undersized, and I think that's what both of these games showed us this weekend, but especially the Bulls game. Like, it just showed us that we're undersized, and I think that we also need to draft another big. Another athletic big that just bangs on the boards, and that's just able to box guys out on his own. Because right now, since we're so undersized, you could see the players, it's taking about 2 players to box out the center, the athletic power forward, which is leaving another guy open at the 3-point line. So that's why we're seeing a lot of open 3 points being taken on us, because we have 2 guys like boxing out one guy, and then he's still grabbing the rebound over the 2 guys, or he's tipping it out, and boom, there's an open 3-point shot. So in these future drafts, we absolutely have to draft a big, and we already have people that can mentor, that big, in Wemby, but also just our Hall of Fame players, Tim Duncan, David Robinson, like those guys, are around, and they can also mentor that future player. But keep an eye out, because we really need size, and I really think that that's going to come in the future drafts. It was still a great team effort on making that comeback attempt. Really exciting to see. Good stuff. Way to fight till the very end, guys. I mean, that's what we need you guys to continue to at least be consistent in. Just continue to fight. Definitely do not let that go, because it's a 48-minute game, and once you guys show that you can fight the full 48 minutes, if you maintain that just fighter's mentality, you're going to know that, hey, we could actually go deeper than the 48 minutes if we have to, So, great job, team, and just keeping that fighter's mentality and fighting till the very end. It was just a really good team effort, especially without Wemby that night, way to go, guys. Like, good job. It definitely was promising to the fans, and it showed us a lot. Like, we do have a couple of pieces that are good, and it was just great for the fans to see, reassurance for those that are kind of a little bit weary. But rest assured, this team is going places. And Spurs community, just to let you know, there are fans out there, especially at the Frost Bank Center, that believe that believe that this team is on the rise and that we are going places. So let's get into some of the in-game sounds and those interviews showing that fans are excited about this team, and they do have faith, and they do have sight on what the long-term goal is and where we're going from here.
What's up, Spurs fans? GSG Nation is back at the Frost Bank Center. We're here for the Spurs versus the Bulls game. It's halftime right now. Spurs down 8. I'm with dedicated Spurs fan Patrick. Patrick has been joining us all season from section 125, and we've been having a hell of a ride for sure. Patrick, how do you feel about this the team this year?
I have hope, man. I really think they're a young squad. They're the youngest in the league. I think they're learning every single game. I know I hear it on the news every single time they're learning, but I really do think they're learning, and I think given another season or two, I really think we're playoff bound, if not greater. So I have a lot of hope.
I agree, absolutely. And you definitely can tell that they're learning, and it's actually like really nice to see. I mean, I know it's a slow process. It's been a long season, but seeing that growth, I think, has made it fun. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's a young squad. I think they're trying to figure themselves out. I think the first couple games you heard, 5-10 games you heard about passing, Wembanyama, pass high, and I think little by little the games are getting more exciting. I think the last 3 or 4 games have been some of the best. I mean, we kept up with Milwaukee with Giannis. I mean, we kept up with some of the bigs in the league. And Wembanyama's been proving himself, but I think it's because it's getting a little bit more exciting to watch because people are learning where they're at, they're learning each other, and I think it's getting better.
Yeah, you can see that team's learning their spots. I would absolutely say like the past few games have been our best, and I feel like we are starting to roll a little bit in mesh. So where do you see this team going in the future?
I will say I think we're truly missing the obvious, the point guard. The point guard, I think, is missing. I don't know if they're going to try to get – Tre Jones actually is doing amazing. So I really think they need to grow him and maybe move him to point. Or somehow we need to get a point. We need to get a point to really focus on controlling the floor and then making moves off Wemby because everything, in my opinion, everything's going to go off of him. Either everybody's going to be guarding him to make other people open or flat out, the point should be exposing the D to get Wemby the ball. So I really think in the future, it has to be focused on getting a point guard and figuring out that whatever system they're going to do in the future, figure that out and then focus on it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's good to see that we are starting to finally run the offense through Wemby. I think it's something that obviously we all knew as fans that that's going to be our best option going forward. And that's just going to help all the other players succeed as well because he's going to be taking most of the defensive attention of the other players. So as long as we can hit shots, man, I think we're going to be in okay shape.
I agree.
So you've been coming through half the season already with us. What's been your favorite part about attending these games here?
You know, I like the camaraderie. I see buddies. I've met you. I mean, I'm hoping this becomes a tradition where I keep meeting people and we keep seeing each other over the next, games and years. And I sure hope this becomes a tradition. I think it's the camaraderie and just seeing all the activities, all the events, all the people, all the enthusiasm. I mean, what are we, 5 or what's our like
7 now or 6?
6 or 5 games that we won. But honestly, every time I come, I mean, it's a fun time. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I've enjoyed about this entire season, even though we have a losing record, is the enthusiasm about what we can be. And I think everybody realizes what we can be, and that's why we're all here.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I agree. The games have been hell of a good time. I definitely see that this team is on the rise. Me personally, I would say maybe even 5 to 6 years, we're competing hard in the Western Conference Finals.
I agree.
And even then, like, Wemby's going to still be very young at that time. I'm glad that you see that it's a bright future for this team. I'm glad to know that you're having a great time. I enjoy coming to the games with you as well, cheering on with you, man. This is me and Patrick's actually first year being season ticket holders.
Yes, sir.
And I definitely say even with the bad record, it's definitely been well worth it because we absolutely having a great time. Good to see you, Patrick. And man, thanks for joining the show.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
And before we go, we're down half. Well, how do you see the second half going for this game?
I think it's Tre Jones. I think he has like 18 or 20 points already, dude. I really think he's going to hopefully he continues on in the second half and maybe carries us to a win. We're only down, 8?
Yeah,
So
we're only down
hopefully-
8. Yeah, so nice.
They're doing good even without Wimby. Wimby's not on the floor.
Yes.
They're doing well.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
Before we go, can I get a Go Spurs go?
Go Spurs, go!
All right, folks. You heard it here. That's Patrick. Thanks again, Patrick. Thank you.
All right, thanks, brother.
All right, fans. I'm here with Angie in section 125. Angie,
What's up?
how's it going?
Pretty good.
You enjoying tonight's game?
I am. It's my first game of the season.
All right, awesome. I'm so glad you're here with us. Good to see you. I can definitely guarantee folks she's cheering. She's having a good time.
Yes, I am.
Really good to see her. So, what do you think of the team so far this year?
I think they're still pretty young, and they've got some room to grow, but I think their future looks pretty bright for the Spurs.
Awesome, great. What's kind of been like your most favorite part of the team this year?
I think Wemby and like him trying to like get his, get his feet wet in the NBA, and I love how the fact that some of the older Spurs, like Robinson and Parker, are really trying to take him under his wing and make sure that he like goes in the right direction. And
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome, I think.
And I was mentioning too that, yeah, I feel like all Spurs fans should believe in this rebuild because especially we have our legends, Tony, Tim, and Manu believing and backing us up. Shouldn't we be faithful in this?
Yes, we should definitely be faithful in this.
Awesome. So, kind of what's been your favorite part tonight? What are you enjoying so far being at the game?
I think the crowd is pretty good. Like, it's pretty packed in here tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like the crowd energy is awesome tonight.
I know, it's been a really good vibe. There's been a lot of people here, more than I thought there was going to be tonight, and it's been good to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite player on the team besides Wimmy?
No, not right now, actually. I'm kind of feeling them all out and see how they're all kind of, how they're kind of getting their groove in this season.
Awesome. Any encouraging words you have for the team that you would like to let them know?
Go Spurs, go.
Love it. You heard it here, folks. Angie, thank you for joining us.
Okay, let's get into the Spurs-Hawks game. The possible blowout that could have been, but that didn't happen. But, really, guys, man, like, you have to come out fighting. You have to come out focused from the jump with intensity, energy, hustle. And that they just didn't have that. Clearly, obviously, they didn't have that. And I don't know what it was, but you if you were looking and watching the team, I mean, you could kind of just tell with the body language, like once the game started, like, everybody's kind of like, just moving slow, and it didn't look like anybody was into it. So, especially our starters just didn't have focus. They didn't bring any intensity, any energy. I don't know what was going on that game. Unfortunately, Devin Vassell looked scared to shoot the ball at the beginning, kind of like doubting himself. But guys, we need every single one of you to put in 100% effort and to stay focused, like to stay hungry, because this game did not start off showing us that we are hungry, that we're focused, that we want to go places. It didn't even look like you guys tried that hard from the beginning. And with that said, great comeback attempt, though. Once again, you showed us that you'll fight till the very end, but maybe not, from the jump, but at least you'll fight to the very end. And we almost completed that comeback attempt. We almost did it. It was really exciting. Everybody I know, Spurs community, was just up off their feet. And even though I was just watching the game by myself at home, I could kind of just feel like the whole Spurs community energy, just like, hey, we might pull this one off. And it was just good to kind of feel that vibe and like, you know, other people, just knowing that other fans were really excited as I was, you know, during that game, at least towards the end, you know. Um, but don't worry, you know, like those minutes restrictions, they're gonna be released on Victor, and you know, once we do, we're gonna be winning games like that. But even though, besides the point, like Victor did have a chance in the beginning to take over, and he, you know, in the beginning he was taking bad shots. He himself also did not look focused, and you know, he didn't really bring any energy either. So I know people are saying, you know, pass it to him. Why aren't they letting him? Why aren't we running the offense through him? Why aren't they letting him just cook? Like, well, he had a chance. He had a chance, but he didn't take advantage of that chance. Not until it was too late. So lesson learned, you know, full 48 minutes. We got to stay focused and energized. Bring the intensity for the full 48 minutes. And we're winning games like that with the squad that we currently have. You know, so it's definitely wasn't just on one player. Definitely wasn't just Devin Vassell's fault. It was everybody, especially the starting five. And, you know, we saw that as Pop changed up the starting five in the second half. And that was actually really good, because that you do need to do that. You do need to change it up to prove a point. You guys aren't getting it done. Well, I'm going to put in people that will. At least that people that are going to bring 100% intensity, 100% energy, everything that they got. Even though the shots may not be falling, they may not be as talented as the other opponent, you still need to bring everything that you got every single game. So I was glad that Pop, you know, kind of reiterated that with actions in, you know, just subbing the group out and starting the second half with a different group. And I want to mention Blake Wesley right now, because he's actually performing really well for us, especially on the defensive end. Honestly, in the beginning of the season, I was unsure of him. You know, I knew about his athleticism, I knew about his speed, and his defensive prowess, but I hadn't seen much of it. You know, we didn't have a huge sample size, especially in the NBA, to kind of like determine, you know, okay, this guy, he needs to stay on the roster, on the bench. But as we go and he's getting more and more playing time, I feel like he's absolutely proving himself to us Spurs fans and showing us that, you know, he has more than probably what the majority of us thought he had, especially on the defensive end. I love that he's full court pressing every single time. I mean, he always brings just 100% of what he's got. He's always hustling, always just energetic and just applying ball pressure. And that is awesome to see from a guard. And clearly it was bothering Trae Young in the third quarter. And so great job, Blake. I mean, can continue to show us what you got. You know, and we can see too, like, some, you know, we know he's getting a little bit of less playing time, and he's, you know, sometimes forcing shots or drives, because, you know, he's probably trying to, you know, just prove himself to the team. But good job, man, and really exciting stuff. Hopefully you continue to stay aggressive. Hopefully we continue to see more playing time from you. And, you know, you are really exciting for the fans to watch, and they're absolutely asking for more of you. Another standout for that game was Jeremy Sohan with 23 points. This guy is doing an outstanding job, especially pairing with Wemby. He's playing really well pairing along with Wemby. Point Sohan experiment did work in some ways. Not in a way to get us more wins, but to help boost his individual game and add more skill set to it. He does have better court vision now. The dribbling can still be worked on, but the court vision has definitely improved. Passing has improved. His shooting has improved. The free throws have improved. So this guy is really just improving. His defense, he's like our best defender outside of Wemby. And he's, you know, he is absolutely proving himself. So happy for him, so happy for us Spurs fans that we get to witness this. And you know, he's on the rise, he's going places. He's going to be he is a big part of this rebuild, and it's just good to see like his individual game improving game in and game out. So very exciting to watch. and just really happy for him, especially after all the hate that he was getting in the beginning of the season. But experiment worked out. Your skill set's improving, man. Good job. I want to just give some opinion and insight, I guess, on the Tre Jones and Dejounte Murray rumors and, which one we should be going for. I also don't think that we should be going for either of them. I don't think that they would be a good fit on our rebuild right now. They're a good fit to get us immediate wins and then to keep us probably in the middle at best of the Western Conference during the playoffs, but yet still not reaching that next tier, and then keeping us in the middle of the Western Conference and keeping us in playoffs. Therefore, we're losing lottery draft picks because we're performing decent enough to not get such a high pick in the drafts. And just getting those guys, I don't really think it's worth our future draft picks. I don't think it's worth any of our players that are part of the rebuild. And I'm going to say Tre Jones, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan. I don't think that we should be giving those guys away right now, or period. Period. That's our core with Wemby. That's our Spurs culture right there. Our most experienced Spurs players. They may not be NBA vets, but they're Spurs vets. And so no outside vet is going to bring Spurs culture or Spurs knowledge to our team because they don't have it. They're not part of it. The guys aren't there anymore besides Patty Mills and Dejounte Murray, but again, not the right fit. We shouldn't be looking for an immediate fix in vets. And Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, hell of a players. They have their own flaws, but still not worth our future, not worth the price that they're going to be asking for. And I think we should just leave it at that. Besides, even Trae Young, it's not even realistic to probably get him. I don't know, unless Atlanta is really trying to do a complete rebuild themselves. I don't know if they're willing to take what what we have, or what we're willing to offer them. So those are my final thoughts on those rumors. And fans, I'm really enjoying going to these games with you at the Frost Bank Center. We are having a good time. Thank you to those who've already participated in GSG Nation. And I'm looking forward to attending more games with you guys and just continue to getting interaction from y'all and continue to talk Spurs, talk our Spurs together. So be sure to keep up with us on Instagram and TikTok at GSG Nation, as well as on X at GSG Nation Talk. This is your host, Brandon. That's all for today. Have a good day, folks.